Good morning, Israel. Good morning, believers. It's your brother, J.D. Nija. Word of Truth with Jeff Deloach, J.D. Nija. Bible study, Bible teaching. Good morning, good morning. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, the unspeakable name of the Heavenly Father, the mysterious El Shaddai, the Adonai, our Master, the only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christos. You know who I'm talking about. And the Holy Spirit gives us this power, wisdom, knowledge, ability to follow the Lord with all our heart, all our mind, and all our spirit. Foggy here in beautiful, world-famous Huntington Beach, California. So, yesterday was kind of a mess. I was what would you call it? Angry? Had a little bit of anger going on there. So, I think the point that a lot of us don't put enough attention to or detail to is the fact that this is a mystical journey. This is mystical. And so when you try and the Lord is very elusive if you haven't noticed. So every time you try and put a finger on him, he's going to move to another spot. He doesn't want to be boxed in. He doesn't want to be categorized. And that's why these guys that say the name has to be this and you got to be that and this has got to be this way and that's got to be that way. That's man's ignorant, vain imagination working its best. So when I say things about myself, or if anyone else tends to say anything about themselves, there's possibilities that it could be true. There's possibilities that part of it could be true. There's possibilities that it could be complete bullshit. Coming out of the mind of their own dark soul, right? So, there's a couple men out there that say they're David. There's men out there that say the leader of GMS, the dead founder of that flunky short bus religion called Black Hebrew Israelism, that nasty, hateful, dirty religion that these guys are pushing. This, I'm not going to go into it. You know what I'm talking about. If you've been here for any amount of time, that's one of my biggest enemies right now, and probably will be till the end. But the point I'm making is, if I'm saying certain things about myself and I say that the Lord told me, it didn't come in a dream. It didn't come in some kind of strange thing. I was walking on the beach and an angel came and tripped me and told me, it wasn't. It was a very quiet, still voice. And if any of you have heard the voice of the Lord, the way he speaks to you is through your conscience. He says, not a lot. Most of the time when he's talking to me, it's either a, uh-huh, uh-huh, it's not as much words as really. And so when he actually says things, I know his voice. And that's why Mary, when Jesus said, Mary, it's me. She knew it was him because she heard his voice. So when I say I heard his voice because I know his voice. I've never told you this one. Back in the day when I was going through the most amazing hell, probably of all my lifetimes, the Lord was moving me around like a pawn on a chessboard and putting me in trouble, getting me out of trouble, putting me in trouble, getting me out of trouble. I was like, whoa, man, this is heavy. And it was heavy because the world was trying to destroy me, and the people that I thought were my friends and wives and lovers and buddies ended up being a bunch of witches and demons, right? So he hasn't always said nice things to me. I said to him, I had the nerve to say, why are you fucking with me? And before I could barely get the words out of my mouth, he shot back, fucking with me? Slakia for the cussing. That's what he said. So don't think that the Lord doesn't get mad and speak to you in his own language. He's speaking to you in your language. He wants you to understand. So that's why I say you can't. It's a Rikakwadash. It's the Paleo Hebrew. It's this, it's that. It's the language you understand is what I said, why are you fucking with me? Whoa. When you have the Lord yell at you like that, get your attention. So I never, needless to say, I never said that again. I never even thought it. He's like, really? Of all people, you're going to say that I'm fucking with you. This is what he said to me. Really? Of all the times you fucked with me? And now it makes sense. Because just a couple years ago, he told me I'm Adonijah. And Adonijah tried to wrestle the kingdom from Solomon. If you want to read that, I'll read it to you sometime. It's not a happy thing. So when I say I'm Adonijah, that's how you know I'm not. That's supposed to be how you know that I'm telling you the truth. Why would I say I'm one of the wickedest fuckers in the Bible? It doesn't make any sense. Here, listen to me. I'm the wickedest guy in the Bible. No, really, listen to me because I am one of the wickedest guys in the Bible. Son of David that tried to wrestle the kingdom from Jesus Christ, Solomon. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's good because I'm in the family, but black sheep. So the point I'm trying to make is this is a mystical thing. And a lot of it has to do with does it make sense? Does it make sense that I'm fighting against these jackasses that are saying my brother was born of a Joseph sperm? Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Is it a shame that they happen to be of a different race? Yeah. I'd much rather be a black dude saying it than a white dude. But that's not the point. I'm not a white dude or a black dude. I'm an Israelite. I'm a real Israelite. And that's why I was so pissed off yesterday. People that have listened to me, he doesn't get it. I have to deal with that. I just have to realize not everyone's going to understand. And that's where the mystical part of it comes in. So I'm going to get into some mystical shit right now a little bit. Because this Ark of the Covenant thing, it's starting to well up in me, and I'm like, gosh darn it, it's going to be one of the hardest things to explain because it's so mystical. When you start talking about the tabernacle, and that's why these guys, they just irritate the hell out of me. They talk about the tabernacle, and they talk about the tabernacles of David, the house of Saul. They don't even know how to say Benjamite. How can you trust them to explain the fucking mercy seat to you? I'm having trouble. He's going, you better start, dude, because you're falling behind. So we're going to just take a quick look at it instead of staring at it. I'll come back. It'll be back. Believe me, it's not going anywhere. So here's a picture of it. See how it has the poles through the rings? That's the four corners of the earth. That's why I say it's the earth. It represents a lot of different things. It's an idiom for a lot of different things. See the wings over the top? That represents the veil. That's the sky. That's so we can't see what the stars are. We can't see into heaven. The flat part between their knees, you see that little round part? That's like the earth. And so the earth, that's the best I can do as far as that goes. There's better pictures of the ark. You can pull them up on Google and stuff. And so my advice to you is, if you want to look at the ark, you can look at the ark in a better picture. They have different representations of it. So, man, it goes on and on about the ark. You could go to where the Philistines took the ark. You could go to where David went and got the ark from the Philistines and brought it back to Jerusalem. And that's kind of an interesting story in itself because it has to do with Saul's daughter, Michal. I'll just read that real quick, and then we'll go backwards and we'll talk about a little bit about the description of the ark so that we can get an understanding of what it's saying. It's between the ark and the tabernacle. It's kind of it's a similar thing. Here, let me show you a picture of the tabernacle real quick. There it is. See how it has the covering? And then it has four corners because it's four corners, and the Holy of Holies is there in the middle right there. Oh man, this is tough. This is tough stuff. The reason it's longer than it is wide, in my opinion, it's because the way the ark is made, the earth, man, this is a tough one. Part of the reason they call it the mercy seat, and we'll go to that because that's the easiest way to explain what I'm saying. Let me see if I have it right. Damn it. This is tough because I can't stay on the places. I keep going back and forth. I'm trying to show you certain things, but anyway, let's go to yeah, here it is. Sorry. So let's talk about the mercy seat real quick, and then if I have time, I'll go into the description of it. So the mercy seat is supposedly that place where you sit on this ark, but we know that you don't sit on the ark because you can't even touch it. And that's kind of what the Lord's saying is when he talks about the ark, you can't touch it. We can't touch it because we're not in the heavens. You can't, it's veiled. That's, the sky veils the reality of the ark from us, right? So let's read about the mercy seat. Maybe this will give you an idea. The mercy seat probably derives from the root meaning to cover or to conceal. Thus, a covering of sin was symbolized until it was dealt with, in fact, by the atonement of Christ. But there is evidence that the verb is derived from a noun meaning ransom, since it is a parallel to the word redeem, pata, in Psalm 47:7. Actually, the idea of mercy seat is incorrect, for the word is not related to mercy, and of course it's not a seat. Further, the translation mercy seat does not sufficiently express the fact that the lid of the ark was the place where the blood was sprinkled on the Day of Atonement, place of atonement. So the mercy seat is actually the flat plane. Why is the flat plane the mercy seat? Because if you've been listening to my lessons, I can't keep going over the same thing over and over again. That's why my messages are so long, because I'm trying to make sure new subscribers understand these themes, because you can't move forward unless you know these things. We gotta know that we're on a flat plane. We're in a covered dome. We're not going anywhere. It's a closed system. That's what the Ark of the Covenant is telling you. There's no space. There's no one's going anywhere. That's bullshit. That's the devil. Get that bullshit out of your mind, because you can't understand. You can't move forward unless you get this in your head. So the mercy seat is the flat plane. And if you go back to Ecclesiastes 3:16, and I would go there, but it's what I've gone there 100 times. If you don't believe me, go there yourself. Solomon says, "And I saw under the sun the place of judgment and the place of righteousness." What's under the sun? Sun's there, we're down here. This is the place of judgment. We come back over and over again. We're judged. We go back to the spirit realm. We hang out with God for 3 or 4 generations. He decides where he's going to put you. Precision. When the perfect lottery comes up, the perfect lot cast, boom. It will tell you everything you need to know about yourself if you can look back on how you were born, where you were born, what your name is, what your parents' name was, what their last name was, where they came from. There's a lot of clues that the Lord gives you so that you can open your eyes and see who you are. That's why I'm telling you these things, because yesterday I was explaining I'm of Benjamin, of Judah. I know that. He told me. He's like, dude, I have an assignment for you, but first you got to know who you are. He told me that over 22 years ago. That's why I'm sitting here every day on my phone doing lessons that no one's hearing. It's just to get down on it has to be said. It's scribe. I'm scribing something to you. And so it's a mystical thing. And the mercy seat, let's keep going. So the mercy seat, it's a place of judgment, but it's also the place of atonement. You can atone for your past lives on this mercy seat. And that's why some of these are the types of transliterations that mess you up. These are the things where they actually went, well, what does that mean? They didn't know because they didn't know. They didn't know what they didn't know. Like I said yesterday, J Hall, dude, you're not gonna move ahead if you can listen to me for over a year and you're doubting me. You're done, dude. I was hoping you were actually listening to the videos, but maybe your spirit isn't strong enough to realize these things. It's mystical, bro. It's cosmic. If you people are here listening to me, you're very, very blessed. And if you can understand me, whoa. Yeah, man. Let me see what I got. I got 19. So let's talk a little bit more about the mercy seat. And then let me see. place of atonement would perhaps be more expressive. Note that the Septuagint is usually hilasterion, place or object of propitiation. Get it? Place or object of propitiation, a word applied to Christ in Romans. The two tablets represent God's covenant with Israel and are such called the tablets of the covenant. Why do I stress the fact that I'm Israel, real Israel? Because I have the covenant knowledge. These are the things that are going to come through me to you. Because I am Israel. If you're listening to people that are saying that Joseph is the father of Jesus, that's not Israel. And if you believe that, you're like going, yeah, that dunce cap looks really cool, doesn't it? Can't wait to put on that dunce cap and get in with those black Hebrew Israelites. You're just putting on the garments of moronic brainstem. You're a moron. You've got to be asking to be destroyed. You're asking for it. Anyway, it talks about right here, the table. Thou shalt also make a table of shittim wood. 2 cubits shall be the length thereof, and a cubit breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half of height. And you shall overlay it with pure gold, and make thereunto a crown of gold about it. That's the round. That's the border, the ice border. That's the crown. Think of ice. Think of ice around the whole flat earth. It's a round. Make a crown of gold about it. And thou shalt make unto it a border of hand breadth around about. And thou shalt make a golden crown to the border thereof round about. If you look at biblical cosmology, you can pull it up on the internet. Biblical cosmology, not fucking geocentric nonsense. Biblical cosmology. It'll show you what the most likely shape of the earth is. And thou shalt make it for 4 rings of it gold, and put the rings in the 4 corners that are on the 4 feet thereof. We're on pillars, people. He set us. That's what the bottom part of the furniture is. This is the best piece of furniture ever designed. He furnished it. Get it? Furnished? You ever hear that in the Bible? He furnished it. He furnished his land with this, that, and the other. It was furnished. Why 4 corners? Why 4 posts? I showed you the picture. I'm not going to show you again. It's like either you get it or you don't. The 4 rings and the poles are the 4 corners. Mercy seat, the wings, the firmament. And it even talks about the color here. And this is where you kind of can figure out why. Where is it? It talks about the color. It's blue, purple, the veil. Here we go. And thou shalt make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet. What color is it when you see the sunset? What color is it when the sky is perfectly clear? What color is when it's mixed with clouds? It's blue, purple, and scarlet. That's the veil. That's the covering. You get it? So that's not the main part of the theme. That's basic Hebrew knowledge. That's mystical about that much. I'm probably leaving most people behind already, but he's telling me just get it down. Just tell him. You got to tell him. Word of truth, JD Nija. Come on, brother. Spit it out. You're going to have to go on marathons. You're falling behind. So that's that. I think you get it. I think you understand what I'm saying. There's the basic point of what I'm saying is that the transliterations and the things that these people are saying are so far from reality and so far from truth that you're going to have to really open your mind if you want to understand Israel. I'm going to go into that in the next lesson. I'm going to shut it down now. And we'll come back. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my tribe and Israel and the difference between the church and Israel and the heathen. I can't believe Jay Hall's hasn't been listening. It's mind-boggling. It's kind of distressing. I mean, I know I'm not the best and I'm hard to listen to and I jump around and you have to deal with my quirks and all that, but that's part of God's character. You can't put your finger on him. Every time you try and put your finger on him, he's going to move out of the spot. So you got to keep following him around. And that's what I'm asking you to do is follow me. You can't learn things that quick. It's impossible. And that's why he says, seek me and you'll find me. But anyhow, JD Nye, your word of truth. The Ark of the Covenant is this place where we have judgment and atonement. It's a place of propitiation. All right. I love you, Israel. I love you, believers. I'll be back. We'll talk a little bit more about the difference between Israel and the church. Peace.